In this example, I'm going to look at factoring a trinomial that has a coefficient in front of x squared. So this example is 3x squared plus 14x plus 8. I'm going to write in this window over here. Now I'm going to factor this by using the grouping method. And so the grouping method, what I would start with is multiplying the coefficient of x squared and the constant term. Multiplying a times c, and that's going to give me 24. And then my job is going to be to find two numbers that multiply to 24 and add to the number in the middle. Now, since 24 is positive and the number I want to add to is also positive, I know that I'm looking for two positive factors. Okay, so what goes into 24? So 24 could be written as 12 times 2. So 12 times 2 would add up to 14. Okay, now I happen to have found it on the first try. I didn't know until I had added them up that I was going to get 14. Maybe if I hadn't have chosen 12 times 2 first, maybe had I chosen 6 times 4, I would have said, well, 6 times 4 is 24, but 6 plus 4 is 10, and so that doesn't work because it does not add up to the number that I needed to add up to for that middle term, that 14. Okay. That being said, this pair is the correct pair. 12 and 2 add up to 14 and multiply to 24. Now, unlike factoring without a coefficient of x squared, I cannot just put those two terms in the parenthesis. What I'm going to do instead is use the grouping method. So I'm going to rewrite my original as 3x squared, and then instead of writing plus 14x, we're going to split that 14x into plus 12x plus 2x, using those two numbers that I just found right here. Then we've got our plus 8. And we're going to continue to factor this by grouping. So I'm going to group the first two and group the second two. I'm going to factor out the GCF of each of those. The greatest common factor in 3x squared plus 12x. 3 goes into both, and they both have an x. So I'm going to factor out a 3x. It's going to leave me with an x in the first term, plus, when I divide out 3x, I get 4 in the second term. Alright, plus, because the first term is positive, I got plus, and then those can both be divided by 2, so the GCF is going to be 2. When I divide the 2 out, I've got x plus 4. Now to continue factoring by grouping, since I have a common factor right here, I'm going to factor out the x plus 4. And when I take x plus 4 out in the first term, that's going to leave me 3x. In the second term, it's going to leave me plus 2. So I have this expression completely factored.